It is fantasy football season, and trying to decide how to approach your draft, it can be a massive headache. In this series, I'm going draft slot by draft slot, talking over what you can expect to see from your draft position, what strategies you can use, which players you might want to take, and which players you might want to avoid. We'll touch on the sleepers available later on, and we'll even run through a super quick mock draft so you can see exactly how I would draft from each position. In this video, we're drafting from the 104, and these are the players you can expect to see there. Ja'Marr Chase. One of the big factors for Ja'Marr Chase this year is going to be whether Joe Burrow can stay healthy. The Bengals, they face one of the easiest strength of schedules across the entire league this year, partly because they finished 4th in the AFC North last year. If Burrow can stay healthy, Chase can stay healthy, then they've got a real shot to be the QB1 and wide receiver 1 overall. An advantage for Ja'Marr Chase is that there's no Tyler Boyd now in Cincinnati, and when Tyler Boyd's been off the field for the past 2 seasons, Ja'Marr Chase's targets per route run rate rose from 24% to 27%. He also plays in the slot more often with Tyler Boyd not on the field. Let's get him some of those easy catches like CeeDee Lamb, Cooper Kupp, Justin Jefferson get when they rotate into the slot more often. Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill absolutely dominated with 9 top 5 weekly finishes in PPR leagues last year. But then he ended the year with 3 bad finishes that ranked him as the wide receiver 36, the wide receiver 16, and wide receiver 28. That absolutely crushed you if you were a fantasy manager with Tyreek Hill on your team. But this Miami team, they dominated on the ground in 2023. Raheem Mostert's 19 touchdowns. It doesn't seem likely to repeat. The Miami defense has also definitely taken a step back in terms of quality, so the offense should be pushed more into more pass-heavy game scripts, and that's great news for Tyreek Hill. Bijan Robinson. No team in the NFL received a more significant offensive upgrade this season than the Atlanta Falcons. Well, you've got Kirk Cousins and Michael Penix there, and that is a messy situation. It really does ensure that the Falcons' skill position players have adequate quarterback play for the first time in years. That's not something we could say when we were dealing with Marcus Mariota or Desmond Ridder. Bijan, he outtouched Tyler Algier 272 to 204 in 2023. He also had 78 targets to Algier's 20, but he was kept off the field in red zone situations. He had 23 touches inside the red zone to Tyler Algier's 36. Bijan also only saw 3 carries inside the 5-yard line. Like, what the hell, Arthur Smith? Meanwhile, Tyler Algier had 6. Everything we've heard from the new coaching staff seems to suggest that they understand what a special talent they have in Bijan Robinson, and they are not going to make the same mistakes that Arthur Smith did. From the 104, I like this spot, but there's still one player who I'm not picking here. Amon-Ra St. Brown. Amon-Ra St. Brown feels like a less safe pick than those who've come before his ADP. The Lions, they ran so pure in 2023, and their offense, it's set up so well for the long term. If Jahmyr Gibbs, Sam Laporta are able to take a second-year jump, which isn't uncommon, we see second-year leaps from players all the time. And if Jameson Williams finally turns up in the NFL, then it could really eat into Brown's ceiling. That's not to mention that this is a team who love to run the ball. That's a big part of their identity. And their defense is going to be better this year, so it just might not add up to as many pass-heavy scripts for the team. We're going to use Fantasy Pros Draft Wizard to mock draft. It is insanely customizable. You can sync it to your leagues and automatically copy the settings in. Then it'll adjust the rankings for that. You can choose which expert rankings and insights you'd like to see, including mine, which are part of the expert consensus rankings of over 100 people from across the fantasy football industry. There's no waiting around for other people. Nobody taking 6 kickers in the mock draft. Instead, we can mock draft against the wizard, get feedback from top experts on our drafts. Check out the link in the description below to start your own mock drafts right now. If you are finding our videos for the first time, do me a solid and hit that subscribe button down below. We are ever so close to 3,000 subscribers. Here we do Dynasty, we do Best Ball, we do Redraft, we do DFS. We get you cooking all year long. Picking from 104, half PPR, 2024 season, snake draft, QB1, 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, 1 tight end, 1 flex, defense and kicker. This one's really close to me, but between Ja'Marr Chase and Breece Hall and Bijan Robinson, I'm going to lean ever so slightly to Bijan Robinson. A good number of wide receivers go off the board, but I still like Chris Olave. I think that there's another tier to his game that he can reach this year, and let's pair him with Nico Collins, who was fantastic last year in his first year with CJ Stroud. We'll add Malik Neighbors, really lean into this hero RB build we've got, and then coming back now, let's add Zay Flowers. We've got 4 incredibly fun wide receivers. real upside there. We can leave the wide receiver position alone for a good while now. At running back, let's take Zamir White, who averaged an obscene amount of touches last year. Pair him with Brian Robinson, who again should see a decent amount of volume because Austin Eckler looks toast to me. Kyle Pitts gives us a tight end with elite potential. Maybe he doesn't hit it, but I'm fine with it, and I don't mind having two Falcons players. At quarterback, nobody who I really want to go with just yet, so let's push that one more pick, take another running back in Blake Corum, who gives us insurance against the Kyren Williams drafter, and now we're starting to feel a bit more balanced when things come back around to us here. Not a single quarterback went. Let's take Caleb Williams, the rookie, the 101. Has a rookie quarterback ever been in a better situation than Caleb Williams? We don't need any position particularly right now. So let's just take the best player on the board, David Njoku, in case Kyle Pitts doesn't work out. First defense goes off the board in the Philadelphia Eagles at the 1207. That's a little rich for defense for me. Running back, nobody who stands out massively. Instead, let's go to the wide receiver position, take Jerry Jeudy. Maybe it finally all clicks for him now he's in Cleveland. Coming back around the corner, let's add a rookie running back in Jalen Wright, who, if anything happens to Devon Achane, could be a league winner. Defense, we're going to need one. Let's take the Chiefs. They were really good last year. They always seem to get a lot of sacks, and we'll pair them with Kaimi Fairbairn, the kicker out of Houston. B+ for this one. Not my best draft, but hey, let's see what we could have done better. In this draft, the mock draft wizard says that if we drafted Jamar Chase at 104 and drafted a running back later, your score would have been 15 points higher. It's a fair point. Trying these drafts out, it lets you see the differences like that, but I'm okay with Bijan Robinson. I mean, he could have a nuclear season. The draft wizard, it did not like my pick of Blake Corum, said we drafted him 2 rounds earlier than he's ranked. That's a fair point, but Derek Brown of Fantasy Pros, he likes my draft more than any other expert. Always like Derek. What would you have done differently if you were drafting from 104? Let me know in the comments. We answer every single comment and question on this channel. Hit that subscribe button, and if you want more redraft comment, check out this video on undervalued and overvalued wide receivers we did with Josh Norris of Underdog Fantasy.